Hey guys, it's Sky. So, I've been debating to talk about this for a couple of days. Just because it's been really hard to even think about, let alone talk about. Um, but I feel like I can kind of talk about it now that I've had time to process it. And I've had time to really think about it happening. But, as you guys know, I did a performance for John Hoff, and it was really fun. It was at a winery. It was a beautiful winery, and it was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous place. The food was amazing. There was options they can make gluten-free, which I really enjoy when I can find that, and dairy-free. I went right after Dwan. That was the goal. And I was really pumped up. I was ready to go. And not even before Dwan could start. At least that's what it felt like. Someone in the audience had a medical emergency, and with not even a thought, I'm not gonna lie, not even a thought to the show. I just completely didn't even think about the show, didn't think about anything else. Grabbed my first aid kit, grabbed all my gear, and went to help the lady out. As you guys know, I do carry two first aid kits and a medical pack with me at all shows. So I do that at all shows. And actually, it wasn't even the reason why I carry them at all shows. I carry them because I'm gluten-free and I have lactose intolerant. And I'm lactose intolerant. So a lot of times before, I would get stomach aches. So I always have that. I have inhalers for my asthma and just stuff just in case. First aid kits were just in case, like, I cut my finger or something before a show, and I go far away, so I have to just in case. Did I ever think in a million years I was gonna have to use it for an actual show? No, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't, and didn't hesitate one bit. I honestly, in the back of my head, was like, screw the show, I'm helping this person out. Me and another person who was a nurse helped this lady out. We put cold compression on this person, made sure they were safe until the EMTs arrived. All the medical background that I have as an HPC, the first aid training, the bloodborne pathogen training, and all the extra courses that I take for my actual job came in handy that night. But that wasn't even the toughest part, because I love doing my job. So I love the training that I get to do. So that wasn't even the toughest part of that night. The toughest part was having my two worlds collide, which is being a home healthcare aide and comedy, which I never thought the two were going to correlate ever. How do you go from helping somebody in a medical emergency and then jump back into let's go and have that same energy? Now, for Dwan, he was up on stage when it happened, so I can't even imagine what he thought, and then had to stop everything, and so he had it toughest, and then I had to go on after I just helped this person out, and then Malcolm had to go on and keep the energy going. So the three of us we had to, like, slay it after this all happened. As you guys know, I'm an empath, so I go off of people's emotions hugely, and that was really tough to be a human being, an empath, a home health care aide, and a comedian that night, all in one night, and have to keep my composure, and it became a lot that night. I was no fun by the end of the night. I did my set, which I recorded. I have not posted yet, because I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really hard for me to watch. It's really hard for me to watch that set because I know what I was thinking of during that entire set, and I know the emotions that I was going through during that entire set. And I didn't want to let the audience down. I didn't want to let John down, and I didn't want to let myself down. So I wanted that high energy, and I wanted to keep everything up. So I kind of put my emotions aside, and I just kept going, knowing deep down that I was breaking on stage. And it's the first time ever that I had broken on stage because of what had just happened prior to me going on stage. And the only person that knew that I was broken on stage was Ebony. So this is the first time I'm actually publicly talking about it, but that's why I'm very hesitant to put the video on, because it's probably one of the most vulnerable moments I have is on stage, because I know what I'm thinking about on that stage. I know what's going through my head on that stage, and it's hard. It's hard to put myself in that mindset again and know what had happened that night. I remember going to the bar and laying my head down and just crying because I was able to take a breath for a moment and know what had just happened and be able to actually process everything that had happened. And it was really, really hard. I missed most of Malcolm's set because I just needed a minute to process everything, and I wasn't really fun by the end. And I felt bad, but I needed a moment to process everything that just happened prior to Dwan's set, my set, and then by Malcolm's set. I really wanted to watch Malcolm. I did. I had never seen Malcolm before. It's not like I've not, but I needed a moment. As you guys know, I care about people. I'm in the healthcare job field, so that's part of my job. So when the two collided, it was very, very hard to put myself there. But I did it. And Ebony just kept telling me, just realize you saved that woman's life. And that's what I have to keep thinking and knowing. So it's when my two worlds collided, comedy and home health care. I think eventually when I can, I will post the video of that set that night. Right now I just can't, because it's really hard to watch, even for me. Even to talk about it's really hard, but I wanted just to get the story out so you guys know why. Because I always post all the shows and everything, and that's the one show I haven't posted. And this would be why. So there's the story. But it was a fun show. It really was. And I had such a great time, and I hope you know that. John, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you know that's not going to deter me from doing shows with you. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun. You know, I went to that animal place, and I had so much fun. I did. It just, that took a toll on me. That totally took a toll on me. But that would be why. So, but that's what happened. So, but thanks guys for staying for the video. I appreciate it. So, but I'm working through the emotions of that night, and just, it's definitely an emotional moment. It is. So, but thanks guys. I appreciate it. Okay, bye.